on in. Hi, I'm Anna.
Mike Wettstein. How you
Very
doing?
nice to meet you. Take a seat.
Okay.
Alrighty. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you. So did you catch that USA-Canada game the other night?
I caught it, and I could say my day was going very great today if the USA would have won, but they didn't. However, still a great game.
It was excellent game.
Yeah,
Definitely
made me love hockey for a little while anyways.
Alrighty, well let's get started. This interview should be about 10 questions long, 10 minutes, just asking about your work experiences, what you can bring to this company.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, did you like your previous job at, where did you work? Campbell Sport Building?
Campbell Sport Building Supply. Yeah, it was a good job. Just a couple, it was a smaller company, just worked in the accounting department with, it was like 2 or 3 other people I worked with, and
Okay.
just pretty basic stuff we did.
Alrighty. Well, can you explain a time that you worked with finance or accounting?
All right. Well, at Campbell Sport Building Supply, we basically did general ledgers at the end of the month, did the payroll type stuff like that. One of the big things was checking over discrepancies, just because there's so much product coming in and out of the company that there's quite a bit of times where you'd see errors in the receipts and things like that, where you had to report them to the big bosses, tell them what's going on, just to make sure we're not losing all kinds of cash.
Okay. What is your weakest trait as a person in general?
Well, can be summed up in one word, and that is slacker.
Okay.
I like to slack a lot. If I'm given a set amount of time to do something, most time I'll push it off to the point where, okay, I need to do it now, otherwise I'm not going to meet my deadline. But at the same time, I do meet my deadlines, and I get my stuff done no matter how many hours I have to stay up at once to get it done.
Okay. Very interesting, but I understand. Explain a time that you exhibited strong leadership skills.
Well, one time that sticks out was in high school. Junior and senior year I was class president, but my senior year we got faced with a big problem. Our school we had the block schedule,
Okay.
rather than the 7 period schedule.
Okay.
And so there were some of the parents, there was a group of like 10 parents that said, our students aren't doing very well, our kids aren't doing very well, so we think we should change to the period day. And a majority of the student body, a large majority, and all the teachers, much of the administration felt that the block schedule was the way to go, but we gave them a fair trial, and as the student president, I went out of my way and I helped the principal. I went around from classroom to classroom giving out surveys, seeing how they felt about the block schedule and seeing how they would feel about a period schedule. And it was communicating with my peers quite a bit and getting feedback, what they would think about that. And while I was doing that, my principal did a lot of research on both schedules and the pros and cons. We put them together,
Okay.
and we made a big presentation in front of the school board and the parents who were against it. And at the end of the day, we took home the gold. We got
Very
the block
nice.
schedule still.
Okay, good.
That's how it ended.
Alrighty, well, if your friends or former coworkers, if we asked them why we should hire you, what would they say?
Well, I think a majority of my friends and former coworkers would say he's a good guy, gets his work done, even though he slacks sometimes, but he gets his work done, and he'd be a good employee.
Okay. What type of work environment do you prefer?
A lot of time you see work environments in big businesses that just tell certain employees do this task, you do this task, you do this task, and at the end of the day they put it all together, and sometimes it gets real sloppy, and I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of working in teams, and then teams getting things done collectively, and I think it makes for a much more organized business and
I
better
agree
workplace.
with that, rather than going through multiple people to
Right.
get one thing done.
Right.
Okay, well, can you describe a time for me or describe for me, I guess, what you do in a stressful situation, or how do you handle
Stressful
it?
situations. A lot of time I just kind of zone out, turn my phone off. I like to go work out and get the aggressiveness out of me. If I get stressful, I get pretty vamped up. So I get it out of me and do some running, listen to some loud music, and it doesn't take too much to get out of me.
Okay. Do you take work home with you, Mike?
It's part of my slacking trait that I have. If I don't get my stuff done at work, and if I got to meet a deadline, I bring it home to make sure everything's getting done and on time, and everything looks good. So,
Okay.
yes, I'll
Very
bring
good.
work home if I need to.
Okay. What interests you about this job?
About this job, well, first off, it has to do with finance accounting, which has been what I've been wanting to do for a long time. I was first inspired by my aunt because she worked in Hollywood for a long time. She worked at Warner Brothers Studios for about 10 years, and now she's vice president. Yep, vice president at a big, not a big one, but like an average sized movie company. I'm not sure what it's called. I forgot, but
Okay.
she got her CPA when she went to Marquette University in Milwaukee, and she's just been an inspiration for me for my future and what I would like to see
Just
myself
kind of
become.
want to follow her path?
Yep.
Very good. What can you do for this company?
For this company, I feel, being in Hollywood, I feel that a lot of the workers have the city personalities where it's narrow-minded. They come to work to get whatever they need to get done, and they leave and get their paycheck at the end of the week, and that's about it. And I kind of bring in the Midwest mentality where we like to make the workplace a little fun, have good relationships with your coworkers, and get stuff done, but in a more people-friendly manner rather than just kind of do, you know.
I
Just kinda
understand.
A to B, A to B.
I understand completely. Alrighty, well, I think that's all I need from you today. Do you have any questions for me?
I was wondering if a position would come open at the end of the internship and I could get hired to work here in the future.
I'd have to say 9 times out of 10 that's what happens.
Okay, cool.
If we like what we see, we generally, if there's a position available, we generally will hire you just because you have experience in the company
Cool.
and everything. I guess, any other questions?
That's about all I got.
Okay, well, you can expect a call from us in the next 2 weeks or so.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for
It's
coming
great
in.
talking.